Welcome to Ambassador in the Marketplace, where we challenge your belief, we correct any misconception, and we give you tips and advice on how to thrive in the marketplace. As advertised, I have with me another guest who is actually in the marketplace and using his God-given talent to actually progress and move forward in the marketplace. My guest today is Mr. Tonny Isaac, and he will be telling us, our audience, about his journey, also into criminology, as he introduced himself. Please welcome with me, Mr. Tonny Isaac. You're welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting me and for having me here today. I don't take it for granted. Okay, just as you have said, I'm called Tonny Isaac. Yes, I'm a Kenyan, and currently I'm in Nairobi, Kenya. Yeah, but as you can see from the background, I'm just enjoying the cool environment in some parts of the country. Yeah, to begin with, I'm a criminologist and security specialist. You know, in most cases, when you say criminology to some people, it's like they're getting the word for the first time. So basically, criminologist is derived from the word criminology, and criminology refers to the study of crime, criminal patterns, and the criminal behavior. So when I'm saying I'm a criminologist, I mean I'm much interested in the study of crime, criminal behavior, and criminal pattern. Yes, for the security part of it, I know that's well conversant with almost all of them. In criminology, I can say I had got an ambition of becoming a lawyer in my earlier stages of life. But I realized that in the process, I was so much keen in studying behavior patterns and how they were impacting the society where we live in. So you realize I was just trying to question, why do people behave in a certain way and how is the impact on the society. So through this, I changed my perception of becoming a lawyer, and so I wanted to pursue something related to investigation, and that's why I opted for criminology and security studies. So you realize I've been in this industry now for some time. I've served in several capacities. Like I started my career as an intern under the public service, where I was a civilian security personnel. I've gone through to Procreate Capital, where I've also served as a team leader. I've served as compliance and investigation associate at Somo Group Limited, where I was also serving as assistant head of field investigation. Currently, I was serving as a repayment executive at Apollo Agriculture, but end of this last month, April, yes, I'll be taking a different course, but I'll share that one later on. But it's still in the industry of criminology and security studies. Yes, so that's a brief about me.
Thank you so much for telling our guest about you. That is obviously your career has taken you to different places, and it's amazing how, we learn from different things, and now we kind of change, because sometimes we think this is what we want to do, and then we suddenly find out that I actually enjoy that, and I would like to know more of that. So we are grateful that you're able to share that experience with our audience. So what is a common myth about your job or your field of expertise? Because when you see the word crime, everybody get edgy. And so what will you say is a common myth about your field?
I'm taking a break to ask you to please subscribe to my channel, like and share this program with your friend and network, and click the notification button. I hear you say, why should you subscribe? This channel is run with integrity, and my vision is to educate and correct misconceptions and myths about how to showcase your faith in the marketplace. When you subscribe, you will be the first to receive my next video and learn how to be authentic in the marketplace, so you can be a good ambassador. Drop a comment in the chat box and let me know you have subscribed, and I will direct message you and send you a copy of my ebook called A Shrewd Wisdom. Thank you for supporting this program, and I'm looking forward to see your comment and to read your comment. God bless.
Actually, the common myth I know is that when people heard of the term criminology, they only think our job is just to maybe to catch or apprehend criminals. But to realize that is a very wide area of studies, and it requires maybe, let's say, different specialists like you can get. For instance, when you have things like the cyber crime, these areas need people who are so much in cyber security. There are things like data protection. We want data analysis in certain areas. So you find that it is not that about apprehending criminals. There are also some wider areas that's the factual part of it. It's not limited to only apprehending criminals. There are also some other venues. Then the second thing about the criminology, and let's say even in security industry, people also believe that it's a risky job, that it's life-threatening. But to realize, in most cases, it is not life-threatening as the perception is outside there, because you realize there are people mostly nowadays, we invest mostly in preventions and risk assessment. So you don't get to the dangerous part of it. So it can't be that life-threatening as the perception is outside. That's why I can say that's also is a myth. Then maybe the other myth I can also say about the field of criminology is that it's perceived that it is only for law enforcement, which is not the actual thing, because you realize other than law enforcement things, there are several things. You have got the rehabilitation part of it, you have got crime analysis, you have got research, and so many other things. So it's a very wide area. They are not limited to only, so that they're also another myth that is in the industry.
Wow, yeah. Interesting. I probably am one of those that actually thought that you guys actually investing a lot of time catching people. So I need to change my orientation about the job. Thank you for sharing that with us. So how has your faith helped you in your journey? How has your faith?
In criminal justice system, sometimes we encounter some certain things that really need you to become closer to God. Like, for instance, upholding justice, fairness, and even that harmonious living. You realize that in our day-to-day operations, there are a lot of things that we do. Sometimes you're dealing with some sensitive investigation cases that you realize if you're not that much close to your scripture, sometimes can even affect your personal life. So having that strong faith in God and believing in the Bible, you know that in as much as I'm doing this, I'm doing it not only for myself, like for the case of justice. If you are doing it, you are also changing other people's lives. You realize in some instances, justice becomes very expensive to get to some people. But if you can stretch that hand and help them, maybe through the litigation support, I think it's just a blessing. Yes.
Thank you so much for saying that. And it's quite important, especially when it comes to crime, that, when you're dealing with things around criminology, that, it takes faith sometimes, especially when people want you to turn a blind eye or they want you to compromise. You have to think, okay, what are my standards and how does my faith actually affect this? And that's quite key. Sometimes most time in what we do, isn't it? That we actually uphold that standard of God in what we do, and we're not, carried away. Please go ahead.
And you even realize that maybe the difference between us and pastors, pastors call for repentance and maybe healing, things like that. But even as we play a role, let's say, for example, when you rehabilitate an offender to become a law-abiding citizen, it's like you are converting them to become more even Christians, because you realize almost all the crimes, they're sinful in nature, but not all the sins are criminal in nature. So by even rehabilitating these people so that they leave their criminal ways and getting back to law-abiding citizens, I think we are also participating in the ministry.
We're definitely participating in the ministry, and that's what the ministry is about. It's about being that light that you can also help other people to move away from that darkness and coming into light. So amazing to be able to see that transformation as well. So, you talked about youth engagement as one of the strategy for crime prevention. I want us to tell our audience why that is important, because obviously there is a lot going on with the youth nowadays. Please shed light on what you meant by obviously having youth engagement to be part of crime prevention.
Okay, there is a saying that an idle mind is a devil workshop. So you realize youths, when not properly engaged, they can pose to be very dangerous even in the community, because you realize when they are not involved even in community activities, they tend to gain some ways of getting some immediate satisfaction. Like for instance, in the case of unemployment, this is an issue that is affecting most people, mostly in the African countries. So you realize that sometimes when these opportunities are not there, but still there are these youths with the hidden talents in them. If you encourage these youth show up activities, from there you can identify people with different talents, of which if they are well mentored, they can earn even alive through their earnings and their talents. So you realize youth engagement is something that cannot be ignored at all costs, because we normally say these are the future leaders. If they are not properly taken care of, they can pose to be very dangerous in future for the society. Imagine a society where youths just do things the way they like. We don't want to get to that situation of is like we don't have the laws to govern. But when we bring youths together, they share ideas. Some of the things they can even share how they can come up with these social group affairs that can even help them get some funding from the government in terms of loans. They can start things like businesses. They become self-employed. So when we encourage such activities, we bring that platform where youths are even free to share their challenges. So then they also come up clear and share some of the experiences they are going through. It's easier to help them. But if they are not given that opportunity to come out properly and share some of the things they are going through, it becomes challenging, because you will realize that they will be suffering silently. So youths are necessary. We need really to engage them in even activities. That's why it's even advisable that when we come even to these government positions, at least we should have opportunities for the youth, because they are that age bracket. Something that a youth may be going through today, maybe people who are past that age, they have forgotten a long time, because sometimes people really like comfort. When you are past some stage, they tend to forget what happened when they were at that level. But when we give them opportunity, they come out, share what their experiences are. I think it's a very good opportunity. That's why I think youth engagement, because even you realize most of the crimes, the age brackets, they fall under the youths. Yes, they're just 35 years and below, most of the criminal activities. Yeah, so youth engagement is something that cannot be ignored.
Amazing. And I like what you said about, an idle land is the devil workshop. And when people are doing something, is a way of distracting them from doing the wrong thing. And while they're there, like you said, they come up with ideas and things like that. And because their mind is young and, it's not been bombarded by all the responsibility of life, they are free to think. And they come up with amazing ideas that even as an adult, sometimes it wasn't there. And by that, you create a better community. Amazing. You also talked about community development, like parks, recreational facility is a must to have to prevent crime. How are these linked to crime prevention? Because these are places people can meet to plan a crime. I was thinking about it. I was like, well, there's some crime are happening in the park, in the recreational center, and you're saying that we're using it to, prevent crime. Tell us what you meant by that.
Okay, what exactly I mean, but before that, let me explain on something. You've just mentioned planning crimes. In criminology, we refer to them as yes, they do happen, but you realize that when these recreational parks are created, it creates that environment where they build up on some self-cohesion. So you realize that, even in a family, you have got your siblings, brothers, and even sisters. When you build that strong connection, it becomes very difficult to attack your immediate families. So when we bring them together, they bond together, you realize that they develop that sense that the pain I'm going through, so and so is going through the same pain. The challenges I'm going through, so and so is going through the challenges. So by bringing that self-question together, you bring them together, and I think that's very necessary, because you realize that, let's say in a community, you realize that some of the crimes reported, they just come from the community members themselves. Most police officers just get information from the community, and you realize when these people, we have got these recreational facilities that bring them together. Actually, it can even be a platform to form things like maybe these family units. In some African countries, we call them nyumba kumi. Nyumba kumi means at least where you are staying, make sure you know at least 10 people who are surrounding where you are. So you see, when you build that family, it's easier for you to even protect your immediate neighbor, because you even know them by name, by everything, by whatever thing they are doing. It becomes even easier. But sometimes we live in environments where you realize that you even do not know your immediate neighbor by name. So it is through these recreational activities, through sports and clubbings, that youths even meet, they share some of the experiences they are going through. So I cannot also deny that it also brings those opportunity for organized crimes, yes. But even when they come together, but there is those organized crimes, it is easier to get the information, because it will only be a secret if it is with one person. But if 2 or more, 3 people know it, they will be even a whistleblower among the people who are informed or in that group. So it's easier to get the information. Yeah, so I think, to me, the advantage part of it outweighs the disadvantage part of it. Yeah.
I'm taking a break to ask you to please subscribe to my channel, like and share this program with your friend and network, and click the notification button. I hear you say, why should you subscribe? This channel is run with integrity, and my vision is to educate and correct misconceptions and myths about how to showcase your faith in the marketplace. When you subscribe, you will be the first to receive my next video and learn how to be authentic in the marketplace, so you can be a good ambassador. Drop a comment in the chat box and let me know you have subscribed, and I will direct message you and send you a copy of my ebook called A Shrewd Wisdom. Thank you for supporting this program, and I'm looking forward to see your comment and to read your comment. God bless.
I think you obviously you're right, in the sense that because we don't want something which is negative, it doesn't mean that we should close our eyes to the positive. And you're right about that relationship, because when people come to the park, they especially for people that are extroverts, they quickly form friendship at the park. From there they go to each other's place, they find out each other's liking, that sort of thing, and they bond very quickly, and that actually helps to direct their mind. Maybe one of them is not interested in something, and then the other was like, come on, let's go and see it. And that way they're distracted from that life of crime and things, and they're able to engage with the community, which obviously will help to make things better and to reduce the rate of crime as well. So what is the biggest ongoing challenge you faced or you're facing being a criminologist, and how are you tackling it? Can be anything. It can be anything.
Okay,
with
sure.
Work.
Yeah, I can say in the industry that are currently facing as the world is evolving from a simple state to a more complex state, you realize also the criminals themselves are also coming with the new patterns, new ideas, so that they also, because their intention is to commit the activity and go unnoticed. So they are also, I can say they are also learning. The more we are learning, they are also learning not to be caught. The more we are also learning to catch up with them. So you realize it comes with many types of crimes, especially in the cybersecurity and also terrorism. Yeah, so handling the two is becoming a challenge in this industry. Yeah, the other challenge I can say is in the advancement of technology. You realize now sometimes we also need even to get to the use of artificial intelligence empowered solutions like in surveillance and many other things. But to realize some of the equipments that are necessary to conduct these activities, sometimes they are quite expensive to get and not easily achievable. Like you realize in the modern world currently, there's not that so many forensic laboratories. We need many of them because we need that any activity, any criminal activity, we get justice. Justice is not only for the victim, but also the accused. Because we realize in some extent, somebody can be accused wrongly. Yeah, so we don't have that. That's the capacity of getting those equipments. Then the other thing I can say is a challenge in this industry, other than the technology part of it, there is also biasness in some of the people in the industry. Yes, the right thing, but you realize for integrity issues, some people, after knowing the right information, either integrity is tempted and they end up not giving the real thing on the ground. So I think that is also a challenge. I can refer to it as ethical considerations. Yeah.
Amazing. And it is true that, what you said is so true that when we talk about justice, people always think, the person that committed the crime, but actually people can be set up, or people can just be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and they too need justice because they might be wrongly accused. And it's important that it's not one-sided, and what you said about people actually supporting people and be open and honest, and not just assume that, she did it, so we've got to take her down, that sort of thing. So how do you represent God in that space? Because it's important, like you're gonna meet different people presented with different information, people tampering maybe with evidence and things like that, or people wanting you to compromise. How do you represent God in that space?
Yeah, that's why I say that we can represent God by just upholding justice, fairness, and having compassion in our work. Because, like the example I've just given out, yes, you can be having a situation where somebody is very innocent, but there is a setup. If after getting your findings and getting the factuals on the ground, you cannot just be hiding the truth because so and so maybe has the capacity or has the financial capacity to, people with maybe financial capacity and power sometimes tends to find their ways. Yes, so you realize, I think we can say that we represent God just by ensuring that there is just justice. You have got the right information. If something happened, state it that it was according to the findings, and this one should just be based on the evidence presented as well. Yeah. So just ensuring justice, fairness, and having compassion at work. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And it's important that, that which is the role really, is to be able to give justice or serve justice, and to make sure that justice is done in the right way so that the wrong person is not convicted as well. So tell us about the career path in criminology to help young persons. So that maybe there's a young person watching us and they're just as curious as you, thinking, wow, that I like the sound of criminology, and I want to, how do I get into studying criminology? Can you tell our audience a little bit about that?
Yes, criminology is a very wide area of study. Having let's say a degree in criminology or a diploma in criminology, this you also need to have background like, let's say, studying the human mind, which is the psychology part of it. Let's talk about the societal social interaction, that is sociology part of it. Let's talk about the crime and criminal patterns and the behaviors. Now that's the criminology part of it. So you realize if you are interested in studying criminology, first of all, just be intentional of what you want. We have got people in law enforcement, we have got researchers, we have got people in correction facilities, we have got people in different government agencies. So we just identify your area, like let's say, for example, if you want to focus in forensic investigation, just identify your area, then try to find out what, as a forensic investigation officer, what are some of the skills I really need to get. After getting your area of specialization, you will need the skills you need. This is why some people will end up going for short courses just to continue learning, because you realize there are also some emergent trends in the industry. Yeah, so just identify your area of studies, then keep focus, go for those networking programs, share knowledge. Then also it's advisable you have a mentor. There are people in industry who are doing so well. Just reach out to them, tell them, I can see you are doing so well, I need this guidance. But when I talk of mentorship, mentors are not people, mostly people misunderstand the word mentorship because they think mentors are people who definitely give people a job. No, they don't give you a job, but the skills they are giving you will sell you out to get that job you are looking for. Yeah, so just look for a mentor, seek for advice. Mentors will not only tell you the positive part of it, but you will also learn from the challenges they are going through. And that one will be building up your brand in this industry. Yeah, I think that's all I can say. For anyone who is willing to pursue a course in criminology, maybe to some, it looked like people who pursue criminology, there are no opportunities outside here. But I believe it's how you place yourself outside of the world. You can't be having that degree in criminology or diploma, but are you visible enough so that even the employers can even see you? What are some of the things are you doing? Are you even volunteering something? Because I believe in as much as you have got a degree or a diploma, you also need an experience. Yeah, that's all I can say for now.
I'm taking a break to ask you to please subscribe to my channel, like and share this program with your friend and network, and click the notification button. I hear you say, why should you subscribe? This channel is run with integrity, and my vision is to educate and correct misconceptions and myths about how to showcase your faith in the marketplace. When you subscribe, you will be the first to receive my next video and learn how to be authentic in the marketplace so you can be a good ambassador. Drop a comment in the chat box and let me know you have subscribed, and I will direct message you and send you a copy of my ebook called A Shrewd Wise Dove. Thank you for supporting this program, and I'm looking forward to see your comment and to read your comment. God bless.
Thank you so much about that. And that is important, especially for a young person. When people say criminology, you just broke it down for us to be that there are many parts to it. So you really need to know which bit you want to do and which bit you're interested in. And then you can find out more information about it. And like you said, sociology and psychology is very important because you need to almost get into the mind of somebody that is planning a crime to figure out what are they thinking, how are they going to put this together, and how is it going to work. And that is more of psychology in that respect. So
yes,
we've come to that place where we will invite you to talk about your products and services. If you do mentoring, if you do coaching, if you do speaking engagements, this is the time to tell our audience how they can reach you. If you have maybe a workshop that you do, or maybe you do a particular challenge or boot camp, this is a time for people for you to let our audience know. Please go ahead.
Okay, in a nutshell, I can just say that I'm a criminologist and security specialist, but I'm currently under employment. So you realize sometimes when we are under employment, you have got that non-compete part of it. I cannot also do them as my business, personal business. So in anything I do, I just represent the company I'm working for. But that one does not limit me. Maybe if somebody is seeing something good in me that they want to approach me, maybe for mentorship, that's something I'm always open to. Because even me, I always look for mentors outside there to guide me and help me achieve some of the things. So I'm ready for any collaboration or mentorship. But personally, I do not have a personal company that is offering any services at the moment.
Okay. Great, excellent. So here you have it. My guest today has talked to us about criminologists. If you want to know more about the field of criminology, or you are thinking of actually, I like the sound of that, and I want to know more how to get into studying and working in that space, you are able to reach my guest today. You can connect with him on LinkedIn as well. His name is Tonny Isaac on LinkedIn, and you can connect with him through his Instagram and Facebook page. Thank you to our audience. Thank you to our guest today for coming to share your experience in the field of criminology. And to our audience, it's been an exciting time again to be able to come into your living room, into your office, into your car as we share on the program again of the ambassador in the marketplace. As you go out this week on Monday, make sure you uphold justice and make sure you represent the kingdom. Till 2 weeks time when we see you again, I will say thank you and God bless.